Okay, and we're gonna go. We're gonna start some. We're gonna start Resident Evil 0. Oh boy. Yeah, and I think I figured out what my problem was last time. It seems to have. It seems to have been that. Yeah, it was a control issue. Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1, their control scheme is very similar, but also there's these slight differences. It's one of those cases where um, it's one of those cases where the smaller differences seem to have a bigger impact when two games still play in a very similar fashion. At least that seems to have been the case for me. Because I'm really used to playing Resident Evil 1, but there's these small little changes that Resident Evil 0 does that throw you can really throw me off. Even though even more like when I play Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 2 remake, they play kind of the same but they're very different from Resident Evil 1. So I'm not trying to play them like Resident Evil 1, if that makes sense. Press any button. I'm pressing the button. So we're gonna go ahead and start a new game. But first, let me make sure that I'm on the control scheme I want. Yeah, okay, so type D. The one thing that throws me off when I'm playing, hold on, I'll go ahead and start it. There. The one thing that throws me off many times is I often press X when I want to switch a character. I'll press X, and when I want to go to my menu, I press Y, but it's the other way around. See, I really enjoy this kind of presentation right here. A lot, and I'm kind of disappointed that Resident Evil 2's remake didn't have the same kind of a bizarre incident occurred. the whole where it's clearly a Japanese guy that's speaking English, and he sounds just like George Takei, recapping what happened. I didn't like that whole intro that Resident Evil 2 had, where it's showing flashes of the city, and it has the music. It has the music playing, and the statues bleed. The statue is bleeding. It's I like the intro to the original a lot better, where you have that narration, and then you have the screen, the black and white pictures, and then it goes into Leon or Claire coming into a dead city. I think the new introduction scene in the remake of Resident Evil 2, I think it was a little too. That's one of the problems with Resident Evil, and it has been for a while, and you can kind of see it here. But there is a way in which Resident Evil sometimes can feel like it's trying a little too hard to be Hollywood. And I guess you can say that Resident Evil 0 is one of the first games where you start to see that trend to begin to develop. Though I would say that Resident Evil Zero is less like a Hollywood action movie or anything like that, and it's more like a there's a distinct Japanese element, um, like a distinct element that feels like it's more in the lineage of Japanese horror rather than Hollywood, summer Hollywood action blockbusters. And if Resident Evil is going to try really hard to be uh, a cinematic experience as well as a core gameplay experience, uh, I prefer the Japanese horror approach as opposed to the Hollywood action approach. In When I was trying to stream this last time, I did mention that I uh, I was disappointed. If there's one thing I'm disappointed about Resident Evil Zero, that I'm sure I share with a lot of other people, even though I don't share all of their criticisms of it. It's the it's the fact that there was a lot of hype around exploring what happened to the S.T.A.R.S Bravo team, who only really made cameo appearances, sorry, in the original Resident Evil and the remake. And I think I and other people were hoping that the Bravo team would get a little more character development, but instead, um, they really don't. You don't explore Kenneth before he gets munched on in the mansion. You don't, Edward. Spoiler alert: he dies very early on. You don't really talk to Enrico much. It's really just Billy and Rebecca's great advent. Billy and Rebecca's like uh, 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 big big day out, or adventure or whatever. So I have the alternate controls set on, but one problem with alternate controls is you kind of like I have to hold the control stick down this whole time. So I'll turn around, right? Hold it down. It's like I have to still hold it down, but still like direct the character, but it's reversed. So what I do is I leave the alternate controls on just in case I need them for quick maneuvering, but I mainly choose to use the control pad for uh, maneuvering. So maneuvering more in the style of the original version. You can set the controls to original, but you can just keep the controls on alternate and use the control pad. And that's what I do. But this game was kind of a big deal when it was in development. It was originally being developed for the Nintendo 64 disk drive system. Um, and I remember seeing the original footage way back when I was a kid, right around the time that Resident Evil 2 had come out for the 64. So Resident Evil 2 had a port on the original Resident Evil 2. It had a port on the N64, which was the only Resident Evil game on the N64 that I can recall. I mean, unless there's some obscure spinoff I never heard of. I'm like 99.9% positive there was not any other Resident Evil game on a Nintendo platform or on the N64 before that or after that. Uh, but hold on. Orders came from the boss today. Yeah, so I'm not gonna read these things. I'm just gonna leave them on screen for like 2 or 3 seconds, and you can read them if you're so inclined. Good. We're gonna get in a fight pretty soon, so make sure we're loaded up on bullets. Is the volume? Tell me if the volume is bad at any time, and I'll turn it up a little bit. It should be okay. But yeah, I remember seeing a lot of the layout for this train level in running on N64 hardware in magazines and stuff because I believe they showed it at, if it wasn't E3, like E3 2000 or something, it was like the Tokyo Game Show. But I think a lot of people wonder why it was being developed exclusively for the N64 and then it was moved over to being a GameCube exclusive. And along with the Resident Evil 1 remake, it remained a Resident Evil remained a GameCube exclusive for a while. Um, uh, and so the reason for that was because Shinji Mikami, the creator and original producer, he preferred Nintendo hardware to Sony hardware. He preferred the N64 architecture to the PlayStation architecture for various reasons, I think, and he definitely preferred the GameCube to the PS2. He found the PS2 to be kind of a hassle to work with, which I can I can believe. Uh, but he wanted to move the series over to the mainline series over to Nintendo hardware exclusively. So that's why 0 and 1 stayed on the GameCube. Um, but when 4 came out, 4 was such a huge success that Capcom convinced him that that the series that at least Resident Evil 4 and later uh, needed to have a PlayStation 2 port to really damn it. It really Resident Evil 4 needed PlayStation 2 sales in order to make Capcom's ends meet. So Mikami sort of caved into the market pressure there. Examine the key over here. Dining car. Okay, so now we have to go back through the passenger cars. I recommend picking up Edward's bullets here while you're Rebecca, because Rebecca's characteristics are, because she's the team medic, she is the one who she is the one who knows how to mix herbs while Billy can't. So it's a very weird thing that every other character in like every other game can mix herbs, but in this game they make it exclusive to one of the two characters you're using, so that way you have to manage items. You have to like manage items by giving Rebecca herbs so she can mix them together before you can send them back to Billy's inventory. But one and that's kind of cumbersome, or it's kind of a hassle. But one thing that Zero does here that I wish more games in the series had done is you can see I can just use this herb right now. Like I don't have to have an inventory slot already free and then go to my inventory and use it or run to an item box, because there are no item boxes in this game. You have to just drop things and you just have to pick up things when they're useful and drop them in an area that you know you're going to come back, any area that you know you're going to come back to, and get them again, or exchange them between the two characters. So like there's a lot of cool ideas in this game. It's just it just wasn't executed as well as it could have been. And I think the fact that this game didn't find a way to incorporate two-player co-op also hurt it in the long run. Because there's certain ways the game is designed that it feels like it should be a co-op game. Alright, now that we've saved, I'm going to go ahead and drop my ink ribbon here, because I don't need it. And it will stay on the floor somewhere. Yeah, it's right there. So, actually, I should pick it up and put it somewhere more effectively, just in case I forget about it. So this is the real strategy of item management here. I would say that if you're playing this game, and you're used to using item boxes, try to get out of the item box mindset. Spread out your items. Don't leave them all in a single room. And don't be like, okay, there's no item boxes, so I'm just going to treat the whole room as one big item box. Trust me, you don't want to do that. I do it out of force of habit many times, and it always bites me in the butt. So I'm going to be taking the kind of safe route here, and the safe route is to just take your time and clear out a few zombies to make your tracking a little easier. The train is really close quartered, so it's kind of you kind of just want to, like, on normal mode you get plenty of bullets, so go ahead and use them and get those zombies out of the way, so you don't get all frustrated because you're trying, you can't actually evade them. Eggs. Nothing. one thing I do notice in this game is it does kind of feel like the zombies go down a little easier than they do in Resident Evil 1. Um, maybe maybe I'm way off there, or maybe it's just that normal difficulty is a little easier the first time around. Because in Resident Evil 1, normal mode, when you first start the game, is basically easy mode. And uh, nor- the real normal mode is unlocked when you beat the game the first time. Oh shit! Open that, and we're out of here. What's our time so far? Yeah, we're making good time here. We've only been at this for I think 10 minutes, and so far Rebecca hasn't only got bit once by a dog, and uh, she's still fine. At this point, last time when we were playing, I was fighting the controls so much that uh, I ended up nearly dying right before this point. Apparently, Rebecca is supposed to be 19 in Resident Evil Zero, but she's already a medic on a corporate trained special forces unit. Um, so I don't know. Like it's kind of like when exactly did she actually start the academy? When she was 12? Well, the thing is, Nam, I really do like the original tank controls in the older Resident Evil games. I genuinely do. Because I really like the technical nature of them. It's just like I said before starting this. The problem I think I had last time is Resident Evil Zero and Resident Evil Remake play very much the same, but the slight little unique things, like the small touches that Resident Evil Zero does differently, throws you off because it's otherwise so similar to Remake that you instinctively, if you're used to playing Remake, you want to play it like Remake. But there's just a slight difference where you have to take a step back and be like, oh, okay, I have to learn a whole new control layout. It's not like when you jump from Resident Evil Remake to Resident Evil 2 Remake or Resident Evil 3 Remake or Revelations or 4, where it's like, okay, this is obviously a completely different type of control scheme. So I have to put aside everything that I learned before. Here it's like everything you learned before still applies, but there's this slight like idiosyncrasy that you need to take into account, but you might instinctively not because you're not really expecting it. I think hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so you don't need to fight this guy. Don't worry about him. Just run over here and go down here and start the cutscene. You can start the cutscene by fighting him, but you're just wasting bullets. So that's the secret here. Just run to the stairs and let Billy come in and save the day. Ready. Action! Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Has anyone ever played Time Crisis? Is that now like a boomer game? Am I too old? Am I too old and that just shows it that I know what Time Crisis is? Leech dude right there. So the time frame between this and uh, between this game and the first game is only, I think, like a week. Uh, Sorry if you can hear dishes in the kitchen. Somebody's doing dishes. I apologize, but the time frame here is only like a week between the two games. But you can tell that this is a story that was sort of written much later because of the tone and the presentation. You know, it's not as down to earth as Resident Evil 1 or Resident Evil 1 Remake are. And Resident Evil 1 Remake is already kind of pushing it. But this one goes way over the top with like the leech operas and the crazy conspiracies and the like you just saw Billy uh, doing these bullet time tactics. Though there was a scene like that in the opening cutscene for Remake, but it's just as far as the whole package is concerned. Um, so uh, I I practiced it. When I was practicing this portion yesterday in preparation for this stream, I did experiment with having Billy go up here, and reconnect the wires that need to be fixed, to see if I remembered right that you can have Billy get stuck in this area and be forced to fight the first boss with Rebecca instead. So that is possible, but I would recommend letting Rebecca be the one who gets stuck, just because Billy has a lot more vitality. So you're less. He can take a few more hits from the boss. From, I think his name is King or something like that. But if you come up here with Billy, Billy is the one in this cutscene who falls through the hole. And we're gonna go ahead and go this way. So this door is locked. There's something stuck in the keyhole. It's preventing the doorknob from turning. You could probably get it out if you had something sharp. So go over here, get this, take the key, examine. Conductor room. So turn in this way. We're gonna put the service lift up here, and then we're gonna throw the key inside of it and send it back downstairs to Billy, because when we reconnected those wires, it opened the door to the kitchen. Press the button, yes. So what does Billy's inventory look like? He needs more bullets. I think he'll do fine without an extra herb. So let's run back down. A while back, oh, hold on. And now we go in the kitchen. Go ahead and examine things here. Seem to be anything of use. That looks like it's going to be important later, right? I mean, look at that. That just screams, pay attention to me. But I won't spoil what that is. Walk from the other side. Some kind of tool. So after we fight the first boss, we get the tool to open that. So go over here, move over here, Billy, and get the key. Take the key. Yes. Now switch back to Rebecca. This is what Resident Evil 0 is all about, people. I do feel like some of the portions like this could just be a little faster. But I like like I said, I like a lot of the concepts in this game. And I like how you have to, I do enjoy the whole using, switching between characters to solve puzzles and stuff. And I actually do kind of prefer just being able to throw items about rather than having to use an item box. I think the ideal, like the golden mean, so to speak, would pretty much be a situation where you have item boxes, but maybe item boxes of a limited capacity, and you can still throw items about in various rooms, and of course the rooms are spacious enough that you can you don't run into a lot of the problems you do here, where you end up kind of in a situation where too many items are in the room and too many items are on the ground, and you're kind of always trying to pick up the item you want and picking up items you don't want or don't need. That's why I say spread those items out as you're discarding them or throwing them on the ground to pick up later. And don't try to squeeze them all into a single room thinking the room itself is your item box. It's not. Okay, there's nothing there. Oh wait, this guy's there. Yeah, see, it seems like these guys are dying pretty fast. So I wonder if normal mode before New Game Plus, just like in Resident Evil 1's remake, I wonder if normal mode here is actually easy mode, and the real hard mode here is actually normal mode, when you get to New Game Plus. Reload, just to be safe. There's a card reader. It looks like the door will open if you have the right card. Yeah, that's why I'm wondering if that is unique to Resident Evil 0, because they figure certain differences might make the game a little tougher. Like maybe you have to throw it. Maybe they have to take into account that you might have thrown some bullets on the ground to free an inventory spot. I'm wondering if it's that, or if it's that normal mode is easy mode here. I'd have to pause the game and look it up to know for certain. Because in Resident Evil 1, they do that to encourage to help the player learn how to play, to help the player get through the story and learn the layouts of the maps before they jump into tougher difficulties. The key card for the driver's compartment is in my bag as always, but I need the other guy's key to open the damn thing. But it looks like I've lost it somewhere. If it was a normal key, someone would be sure to turn it in, but this key is different. I'll look for it too, but if you happen to find it, please hand it in. Thanks in advance. Alright, so we don't need the red herb because Billy can't use it. In here, we have the briefcase. I'll take that. And then what I'll do is examine. So we don't have the keys for this briefcase yet, and this is really weird. It's a briefcase. How durable or like safe can it be to where it's like, oh well, the item we need, the key we need is in there, but we need to find the keys to open it. There's no way we can get inside otherwise. I mean, Billy has a knife. He could just cut it open. It's just one of those funny, ha-ha observations of one of those trademark Resident Evil-isms. Oh, that's right. I need to change the game that's listed. So give me a second. Let me go back to the stream. Sorry, I forgot to. It still says we're playing Momodora, so I'm just going into the studio right now to switch it over to say that we're playing Zero. There we are. Game title. Resident Evil. Biohazard. Well, actually, no. Click Origins Collection. There we go. Save. Hopefully that didn't stop the stream. The stream's still going, right? Yeah. We're good. Let me just get back to the playback here. Perfect. Take that. Press this, if I remember correctly. Good. We're gonna go up the stairs. Why is it called Resident Evil in the States? If I remember correctly, they couldn't call it Biohazard here because there was a band that had copyrighted the name. So to avoid legal issues, I think they held a contest at the company or to name the series, and I forgot who the guy who was that actually came up with the name, but that's why Resident Evil 7, everybody calls it Resident Evil 7, but it's actually, its real title is Resident Evil Biohazard in the States, and in Japan it's called Biohazard Resident Evil. It's kind of a nod to it's kind of an homage to the two names of the franchise in both countries, or an homage to the fact that they differ. All right. Go in my menu. I need 2 slots for the hunting rifle. I got the ice pick, which means the boss is now going to show up if we go back. I don't need the knife right now, so I will drop the knife, leave the knife, get the hunting gun. And so if I had another brain brain aneurysm or brain fart, I would be trying to dump everything back in here, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside here. And I'm going to... Do I need to drop anything? I'm going to leave that. Leave the herb. Right there. Head back in. And get the first aid spray instead. Probably won't need it, but... just in case. That one. So now we have no other place to go but this way. And this is when the scorpion guy shows up. And there he is. So the strategy right here is very simple. So first, just run back, avoid him for a second, go to your menu, equip the hunting gun, quick turn it back around, aim the gun, and wait for him to get a little closer. As soon as that happens, run forward. Okay, so now... if you didn't take the shotgun bullets with you, equip the handgun again. Now, this is how you do it. Run forward. Avoid that. Get back. Yeah. So that's just, don't do 3 shots. Just 2 shots. We're okay. So now that he's done that, run back, turn this way, do that. Just keep doing it that way. Like I said, it's better to play with Billy here because he can take a few more hits. See, he's still fine. Rebecca would already be at caution by now. Oh, so he's doing that. He's guarding himself. Do that. Run back. Run to this corner. Reload. And if you do your timing just right, you can avoid him doing that. See? Science. Gamer science. Well. Yeah. If you're not careful, his death rattle will actually kill you right there. It's a very it's a very nerve-wracking experience when that happens. So, like I said, most optimal way to do it is just do that strategy while playing as Billy. It's not the speedrunner way of doing it. It's not even like the pro way of doing it, but it's the safest way. And that's what I really recommend when you play these games for like the first time. Go ahead and use it. And now I'll go back, reload. Good. I think like I get the feeling that a lot of people try a little too hard, myself included, to do things in a very speedy way, to where because there's this sense, I think there's this association, a false one, that speed is necessarily synonymous with skill, and that's not always the case. And with Resident Evil games, while there is an element where the game encourages you to learn how to play it more quickly with repeated playthroughs, when you're playing it for like your first few times, just learning, just take your time and go slow. You're not like, unless there's some kind of event like an event like what you have in the first game where you have to try to save Richard, and you have to be fast enough to get to the medicine room. Barring situations like that, most of the time you can afford to go slow. I'll go ahead and leave this. I'll come back for it later. Climb down the ladder. So now that we have the ice pick, we run back to the kitchen, put it in the lift, and send the ice pick to Rebecca so she can open the door. What does Billy say when he looks at Edward? Okay, nothing. I figure we'll at least try to get through the train, get to the not Spencer Mansion. That should only take us, at this rate, it should only take us about maybe 15-20 more minutes. This first portion is like, you can get through it in 20 to 30 minutes, if you're going like the speedrunner route. But like on average, it'll take you somewhere between 40 minutes to an hour. We're actually making really good time here, and that's just because I replayed this portion in my own time, to try to get the feel of the game, like to get the muscle memory kicking again. Because I've actually beaten the train more often than any other portion in this game. I've never beaten this one, so what I want to do is I want us to maybe beat all the Resident Evil games on stream, like every single one, starting with 0. So when and if we finish 0, or at least get substantially far in it, we'll move on to playing Resident Evil 1 Remake together again. Unless you guys want me to play the original Resident Evil instead. But I prefer the remake. And then we'll go to either Resident Evil 2 original or Resident Evil 2 Remake, whichever people want to see first. And then we'll do the same, Resident Evil 3, then 4, maybe Survivor, if we want to laugh. I probably won't beat Survivor. But we can at least maybe play it for like an hour or so. Just so that way we have the whole Resident Evil saga on record. Go ahead and use that. You're fine, Rebecca. So now the door is open, and we are out of here. Now, we have fire zombies here, but we don't need to fight them. There's no reason. Okay, and the dynamic duo is back together. And as you can see, I can actually move, when we're together, I can actually move Billy or Rebecca around using the right analog stick. So I'm moving Rebecca with the control pad, and I'm moving Billy with the right analog stick. And you can't like manually attack with the character this way, but like if they're in the way, you can get them out of the way, or if you need them to be closer so you can exchange items, that's how you do it. Hold on. See, this is a pro gamer tactics right here. Okay, enough of that. Let's go ahead and give Rebecca some more bullets. Exchange. Right here. There's some bullets in that room near the scorpion den, or the scorpion area. Here. Rebecca has more need of healing items, so she's going to keep the 2 herbs. What we're going to do is we're going to switch over to Billy, and he's going to come over here, and the freight car door here is closed, so we need to use the hook, the panel opener. can go down. So be on your guard when you go into this room, because and it's better to have it go in as a team, because this is what happens. Yep. Bam. First aid spray. No, somebody needs two slots. Rebecca needs 2 slots. So, actually, you stay here. I don't need the shotgun ammo yet. So this is actually what I like about Resident Evil 0. I think some people... I think the item management in this game is a lot more tactical. We need that. And we'll go ahead and get the gasoline here. And like the item, like I definitely prefer having an item box. Don't get me wrong, but like I said, my ideal situation would be being able to throw the items in rooms and still come back and get them, and then having dedicated rooms with item boxes that have limited slots rather than infinite slots. So that's the way I prefer doing things. It's the release lever, pull it. And now we need to get the hook shot here so we can get the other key for the briefcase, which we could easily open with our bare hands, but for some reason have to go through this whole song and dance of looking for rings. Hookshot operator's manual, yes. All right, go over here. There's a hand-operated brake here. You'll need a magnetic card to open it. Yeah, so that's when we are doing the timed event at the end of the train, which is going to be coming up in just a moment here. Open the door. The door is now unlocked. Move through. And we're in for a little treat here. Just stay, pay attention. Ah, my God! Police brutality. I get the Molotov, or the bottle for the Molotov. Billy, you get it. What? Oh, that's right. Leave this. And now, pick up the bottle. I could have just gone to use. Exchange. No. Not exchange. Combine. Combine it with the gasoline, and now we have Molotov cocktails. And those are what you use later on. Do not use your Molotovs on the train. You wait until you get into the training facility, because when the leech people start showing back up, that's what you need the Molotovs for. So that's my recommendation. Oh, snap. Yeah. And sometimes you want to use Billy as kind of your meat shield. Oh, he's not doing so hot, actually. Scratch that. Maybe that's not a good idea. Exchange. use that. Okay. He's not totally crisp, but he's fine enough. But you can afford to use Billy a lot of times as kind of your like your your forerunner, or your whatever the right word is, because you don't want to allow um, you don't want to allow any of the characters to die. Even if you're as a team, there's no I don't think there's no revival thing. If one character dies, it's over. And here's where you use the hook shot, where that ladder was before. That's why you'll notice I look at things, and you might wonder, why is he examining that, or why is he showing that for like the 13th time? It's just so you kind of know, like, um, like, that's why I do that, so in case you're trying to use this as a walkthrough of a sort. Got you. You got to be careful. They might twitch, and you might think, "Oh, well, that's his death animation." Not really. Until you see the blood come out, they're not dead. And now we get an extra knife. So now Rebecca... Oh, well, never mind. Crap. Cannot carry this item now. Alright, so that's the item we need. Let's just go ahead and activate the leeches, and we'll get Billy up here. Now the leeches hatch, and the leeches are annoying, but just don't waste your time with them. Just outrun, just run past them if you can. You only need to be concerned. You only really need to be concerned about the leeches if like the actual leech people show up. But now that they have hatched, they're over here. And that whole area that was blocked before has now been opened up for us. So, Billy, you go ahead and pick up the ring. Jewelry box. Examine. I gotta wonder if there's anyone who got stumped at this portion of the game because they did not examine the box here. Like, they just picked up the box and thought, oh, it's a ring, it's just a box, so I'll just keep it. And I wonder if there was someone who was running around for like half an hour or 45 minutes or wondering what to do, and didn't realize that they have to examine the ring box. So now we have both keys. Exchange. Go ahead and exchange. Well, no. We don't want to do that. Exchange that. Decide, let's give Rebecca all the bullets so Billy can pick up his extra knife. Or the extra knife. One tactic you can use, is you can use Billy as a melee fighter, like put him in the front. And if you're not confident in your own ability to use the knife, then just switch to Rebecca and keep Billy like in front of you. So he'll take a few chomps, but he he will fight back with the knife, and you can use Rebecca as your ranged attacker. That's one strategy you can use if it's ever a case where it's like, oh, hold on. That's one strategy you can use if it's a case where you can't afford to split your handgun bullets or your shotgun bullets or your ammunition between both characters. Just let one use the knife, and usually that one you want to give the knife is Billy. So, yeah, and the cool thing too is that Billy will sit here and pick off the leeches for you. Pick up these. You want to try to pick up all the items on the train once. At least once, because when the train crashes, all the items that you picked up and like replaced will be scattered, so you can take them with you into the training facility. Well, we're going to be freeing some spaces here, so we'll come back and get that. Well, actually, the few times that I saw Aaron play Resident Evil, he was actually okay at it. But admittedly, he was using a walkthrough, which, there's no real shame in doing that. But I mean, he played he had a whole Resident Evil 1 remake playthrough series that he did, and he went through it just fine. Because he was just using the walkthrough most of the time, and also like he kind of knows the game very well. I get the feeling Aaron, a lot of times, plays games bad on purpose, but I don't know. That's kind of a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. I'm probably not, probably gonna edit that out of the compilation. But so okay. Do we have Rebecca? Go ahead and take the key. So we have both of the keys now. Oh wait, we don't really need this anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that. So go ahead and leave that. Now we have 2 spaces free. We're gonna take the briefcase, go to our menu, combine, or let's examine. Appears to be locked. There are 2 holes that look as if they fit some kind of round object. Quick question, is there a reason the text is not filling the whole bar down there? Is there a reason why like it's all pushed over to the left side like that? Like, why not put kind of round object right after some? I don't know. Just, sorry, backseat programming here, but you know what I mean. Combine that. So now both keys are in place. Examine. The briefcase appears to have been unlocked. Open it. And we got the blue key card. The key card is used to unlock the electronic door to the lead car. All right, so the final portion is, the final area is pretty much unlocked. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of time to manage our items. I'm going to combine that. Exchange. Go ahead and give Billy 30. Exchange. Go ahead and take all those, Rebecca. All right, now run up here, climb up the ladder. Now I'm going to combine some stuff. So that way the item management is a little easier later on. First, get this. Shotgun ammo. Billy, you go ahead and take that ammo. For now. Up here. Go in here and pick up that ink ribbon and combine it with the other ink ribbon downstairs. Can you carry that knife? No, you can't. I think the knife, that's Billy's knife from before. So when the train crashes, that's going to be on the ground, I think. Take the ink ribbon, turn around, run over here, open the door. Head back down. And we're going to save before we open that door, just in case I fail the mission to stop the train from to pull the brake, activate the train brakes. And then when we get to the training facility, I'll save afterwards, and that will be our first run of Resident Evil 0. So. And I believe the save room's right here. There it is. Pick that up and combine it. Use, combine, perfect. Now go ahead and save. I want to hurry and get this over with. I have to use the bathroom. And I'm going to be I'm going to probably be going to about 12:30 or 1 a.m. So I hope that's okay. So I'll probably cut it off at the latest at 1 a.m., at the earliest at 12:30. So that way I can get at least 3 games in. Um, there. So we have Molotovs and ink ribbon there. She has the card. All right. So here we go. Oh wait, Billy. Go ahead and equip that. Combine. Go ahead and exchange. Take another clip with you. Use. Oh. Oh, there we go. It's locked. No, use the card. I'm in front of the thing, so please use the card, please. There. And cutscene time. Cutscene time now. There. So this is, here we see our good friend Albert Wesker and Dr. William Birkin. One of the things with the Resident Evil 2 remake that I thought was weird and how, story-wise, was I felt like they tried to avoid the fact that William Birkin and, like, Annette Birkin are kind of, like, evil. Annette Birkin's kind of insane in the original Resident Evil 2, and William Birkin is also kind of a psycho, and in Resident Evil 0, Birkin and Wesker are both kind of the dynamic duo of villainy, as far as like the lore goes here. I think in the Resident Evil 2 remake that they were trying to avoid any sort of too many explicit references to previous games that might alienate new players. So it feels like Birkin's villainy is toned down. Not that it's not existent. I mean, there is that whole thing that you read about where they were experimenting on orphans and stuff, but there's not really a whole lot of references to his collaboration with Wesker that you see in this game. Okay. Brake operation manual, using the brake control. The following 3 steps are necessary to operate the brakes. Activating the controls. Brake controls are located in the following locations. First car driver's compartment. Right. Step 2. Enter the code deck. Enter the driver's compartment code. All right, so we have to run back to the back car, but don't forget the magnetic card. Don't forget that card right there. Who will stay behind? Rebecca, you stay behind. So run over here, get this card. Do not forget the card. It happens to a lot of people that they forget that card, and they go through all the trouble of running back there, wasting time. Handgun ammo. Handgun ammo. Here. Billy, go ahead and... You know what? You don't really need the shotgun bullets right now. You have plenty of... ammo to get through. So go ahead. These guys are going to come alive. Just run past them. Don't bother with them. They're not going to hurt Rebecca. You don't have to worry about them. Okay, so now we have that. Now, one way to go about this is to go up. But I would just recommend going forward. And also, I want to show Edward's zombie. See, Edward's not there anymore. Wow. Very few frames there. Did you notice that? What's your health like, Bill? All right, Bill, you just stay vigilant. Come on. Yeah. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, one thing you can do here is you can just go around, but I think it's a little too late for that, so we might as well power through it. You can go around, go up, and then run around, but last time I did that, I got confused and I messed up. Got it. Run. Reload. Turn around, head forward. Yeah, last time I ended up going up the stairs right there and then doing a whole loop-de-loop. And here's Edward's spirit. I don't want Rebecca to have to see her friend like that, so I prefer Billy to go this way, because he doesn't know Edward. I think we're just going to barely make it. Now's a good time, though. To drop this. And then run over here and get these. Yeah, the pro tactic would be to go upstairs, then go around, so you at least sidestep the first passenger car before getting to the Edward car. I should have done that. I was scared I was gonna mess up like I did before. All right, so now there's a hand-operated brake here. You'll need a magnetic card. Examine card. Use. Perfect. So we have to add the numbers to equal 81. I recommend pausing the game here, looking at the number 81, looking at how many slots you have, the little slots at the bottom, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. So there's 10. You have to combine 10 numbers to make exactly 81. So let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. If it was all 5, it would be 50. So 9 times 9 is 81, if I remember right. So you would need 9 eighths? No, 9 sevens, right? 9, 16, 25, 34, 42, 51. Yeah, 99981. So that one's pretty easy. I think it's randomized. I think like in some playthroughs it's 36. So now Rebecca has to insert. Yeah, I think in some playthroughs they're switched. So now it's 36. But we can't see the number, so we have to do it all in our head. So 9 times what times? There's 10. 10 times 3 is 30. So going from that, well, what times, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, it would be 5. 5 times 6 is 30. 1, 2, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 30. 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Got it. And here we go. So now we just need to get to the next save point. There will be a couple more cutscenes, but we've made a pretty good time. I told you that would take that on average takes 45 minutes to like an hour to do, and that's exactly how long it took us. Like I said, if you're really confident in your skills and you know it very well, you could get through that in like 30 minutes. Oh, Billy. It's amazing that he's avoided any and all scrapes. It's just that Adonis body of his just deflects debris and deflects friction from rocks. All right, now you got to be careful here because you can die. The zombies that were in some of the zombies that were in the train come out over here. Oh, gotta equip. Get over here. Now, if I was a pro, I would just sidestep all these guys. And here's all of our items. Let's go over here, make sure there's nothing we're forgetting over here. Yep, we're good. You want to take as many items as you can with you here so you don't have to run back downstairs. Our shotgun should be right here, I hope. Yeah, there it is, hunting rifle. Hunting rifle and the knife. Billy, go ahead and pick that up. You don't really need the hook shot yet. Are you gonna pick that shit up, dude? There. Ooh, that was really close, actually. No. Billy, go ahead and exchange your bullets with Rebecca here. And pick up more bullets over here. I'm trying to think what I can just wait to come back and get later. What I'll probably do before we start next time is I'll probably come back here and pick up items and then put them where I need them to be, so that way I don't I can just start from the main room upstairs. Knife. Switch. Alright, she's good. The only thing we can't take with us is the hook shot, but I don't think we ever use it until much later, if we ever use it again. And we're good. Hooray. Is there anything over here? Nope. Trek through this short sewer. And here we're introduced to the training facility. We get another beautiful cutscene. A beautifully compressed cutscene. They're still very. I wonder if there is a way to make them come out a little clearer. Actually, this looks pretty good. This is probably as best as they can make it look. I'm exaggerating. Who on earth are those people? Shut up, Wesker. Don't insult Billy like that. You piece of shit. Power is life. We got our K-pop villain here. They really I don't know. They really jumped the shark or just went overboard with certain portions of this game, like this whole like opera deal. You bitch. Okay, so I'm gonna go down and but before that, I mean, look at this. This is one thing I will say about this remaster is they really made these environments look amazing. They still look really good even after all these years. And I'm sad that we'll probably never get pre-rendered environments like in a Resident Evil game like this ever again. I really miss this style. But anyway, let's go ahead and save. Core data. Saving and done. Okay, so uh, I'm going to I'm going to mute the microphone and turn on the music again. And I hope that the volume levels were okay. It seems very quiet on my TV. I'll have to check the playback, but I'm pretty sure I can use this footage for something in the future a lot better than the last footage. But I'm glad we made it this far, and hopefully we can finish this game together in the next coming weeks. I'm going to be trying to do Switch streams on Tuesdays and Xbox and maybe PC streams in the future on Thursdays. So we're going to be doing this whole at least two streams a week thing regularly from now on, because it helps me to practice my live commentary.